Hi, Nevada. Hi, Susie. Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Helen. I'm going to say this is so exciting. Hi, Emily. Okay, so whilst we're waiting for the others to filter in, hi, Beth. If anybody is working with any injuries or conditions that I need to be aware of, down in the bottom panel, there is a manage participants section. You can click on, or a participant section rather, you can click on that participants section, look at the list and click on my name, the host, and just message me privately if you are working with any injuries or conditions that I need to be aware of. I'm really excited to have you all here. So just for the next couple of minutes, if you are working with injuries, obviously do send me a message. If you are okay to find a comfortable seat, then you can start to do that, because we will be beginning in a couple of minutes from now. It's lovely to have you all here and be able to connect with you in this way. So thank you for being here. And I would always say that if you are new to the practice or new to the practice with me or anybody for that matter, super important that you just listen to your body. So this goes for everybody. Slowly people are filtering in. Hi, Victoria. Let's see. I can also see that you have all got your audio muted, which is great, and I would just ask that you keep it that way. Also, please don't switch your video on for the moment, because we are going to be recording these classes so that you can have some content over the Easter weekend. But if you can keep that on mute, you're automatically muted when you enter the group, and if you could just keep it that way, that would be great. And let's see. Okay, so 9 of you so far. So you're not going to need any props for the practice at all. If you want to have a blanket handy for your meditation practice at the end, then feel free to grab that, or grab another layer now so that you've got that ready. For those of you who don't already know, my name is Zara. This is a grounding vinyasa and meditation practice, and really happy to have you practicing with Recenter at home this evening. So it's nice to be able to be back in the community. So we are going to start in a seated position for another couple of minutes. So again, just another opportunity if you've just filtered into the group. Hi, Gabby, welcome, nice to see you, Gabby. If you have injuries, again, you can click the participants list, scroll to my name, the host, and then just send me a message letting me know that, what you're working with, and that will be a private message. And again, I would just ask that you keep all your audio off and your cameras off until we get to the end. If you do want to chat to me privately, you can do that via Instagram, Zara Miranda Yoga, or you can speak to Recenter about private classes with me. So thank you again for being here. I'm going to get onto my mat, and you can settle onto your mat. So let me give you a little bit of a better line of sight. There we go. Again, just a quick message check. One moment. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. So we're going to start seated, and if you are working with injuries or conditions that you haven't mentioned, that's absolutely fine, not a problem at all. I know that I've spoken to a couple of you previously working with knee or shoulder injuries, and they're quite common. So just really important, because I'm not there to see all of your alignment, really important that you just listen to my verbal cues, and if at any point you feel any pain in any of the poses, pull away immediately. So we're going to start to find our seat. So just taking the hands underneath the buttocks and sliding the flesh out to the side so that you've got a little bit more of a connection to the sit bones. And for those who with knee injuries, if you're not comfortable sitting with a cross on the shins, you could simply extend the legs out, use your hands, keep a soft knee, and that will be plenty fine to do that. If you have shoulder injuries, again, be mindful that you're not going to cause any pain, so just listen to the body. So once you've shuffled the skin to the sides, find the sit bones. Bring the hands onto the knees, palms facing down to begin, and bring the thumb and first finger into touch, just to quieten the mind. I know sometimes there's a lot of distraction, especially at the moment. So finding that place of stillness. You can close the eyes down now and start to draw the weight back a little onto the sit bones. You start to feel a bit more space revealing in front of the pelvis. And then imagine you have this kind of thread from the crown of your head and somebody is just gently lifting it towards the sky. Do you find a little bit more space between the vertebrae? When you're ready, inhale, roll shoulders up towards the ears, hug them up towards the ears. Exhale, melt them down the back. And then doing that twice more in your own time. Inhale, hug shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. And one more when you're ready. Inhale here and exhale here. So you can either keep the eyes closed with the hands on the knees or the thighs, or you could bring one hand to rest on the heart and one hand to rest on the belly. So we're just going to take a moment in the stillness to really connect to our breath. So there's nothing for you to do right now, nothing for you to see, except starting to feel into the breath. Our breath is a really big indicator of how we feel. The quality of the breath is kind of our guide. Some of you might have found recently with everything that's happening, that your breath might have been slightly rapid or shallow, and that's normal. We are working to calm our central nervous system here with some deep, focused, mindful breaths. Just allowing the muscles in the belly to relax, as well as the muscles in the face. With this soft abdomen, you start to ease the breath towards the base of the lungs. And as you connect to the quality of the breath and it starts to deepen, instead of just breathing, we are creating an experience of the breath. We do so in the stillness at the beginning because our breath will guide us through the practice. It will guide us to the poses. It will guide us away from the poses. If we can create an honest relationship here in the stillness, more likely we'll be able to find a practice that is nourishing for us individually. Just a little bit more time here in the stillness, and I invite you to kind of feel into that aspect where we can pour ourselves into the action without a goal, except to be fully present with an open heart and enough courage that we don't need a plan, with enough courage that we don't need anything in return except this possibility of being able to be with what is, and to let the gifts of the practice, the gifts of the universe, reveal themselves to us. Our intention for the practice is simply that, to pour ourselves into the action, to be present. If you are pregnant or have high blood pressure, please do not work with any breath retention. But if you are okay to participate, slide the hands back to the knees if they happen to be on the heart or on the chest somewhere, and empty all the breath out. Bring in your new biggest breath of the day. Fill up entirely to the top of the lungs. Pause at the top of the inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, make a sound, let it go. So you're in your own home, nobody's here to judge you. It's okay to make a sound. If you need to, let it be loud. Releasing all the breath by drawing the navel to the spine. Squeeze out that last drop of stale air. And then again, big breath in. At the top of the inhale, take an extra sip of air. Top up the breath. Pause with that breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go with the sound. Draw the navel in. Squeeze out the air. And before you breathe in, pause in the empty space for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Biggest breath. At the top of the inhale, take that extra sip. And then with the breath and the fullness, you start to become challenged. Can you relax into this first challenge, right? So shoulders softening away from the ears, muscles in the face still staying relaxed. Be with that challenge and explore it for as long as it's interesting to you. And when you feel that urge to bubble up beyond the point where you can contain it anymore, let the breath go with the sound. Starting to awaken a soft ujjayi breath. So a little bit of a restriction, a narrowing of the back of the throat, the same sound you make when you fog up a mirror, the sound. It's okay to breathe calmly through the nose the entire practice if you haven't quite mastered the ujjayi breath. But let's start to bring our right palm down onto the earth, then sweeping our left arm up to the sky. Start to fold towards that palm that's on the mat. And then as you fold towards it, press away from it. So as you do that, you start to push the barrel of the ribs over towards that left side. And then you can start to focus your breath into that left lung. So we stretch the side body with these deeper breaths. And then when you're ready, just releasing that hand on the head to the right, behind the right ear. Draw the skin up the side of the neck as you tilt the head to the side. And you'll notice that those right fingertips have started to lift away from the earth. Let them hover maybe an inch above the mat, and then draw them forward maybe an inch. So the stretch starts to move, and you can close your eyes and just feel into that stretch. It's moved from maybe behind the ear all the way down the neck and to the cap of the shoulder. Take a big breath into that stretch. Exhale, let it go. Start to release that hand from the head, bringing that left palm down, sweep that right arm up to the sky. Then start to fold towards the palm that's on the earth and then press away from it. So the barrel of the ribs moves again over to the side of the room, and you start to focus all your breath into that right lung. Calm but deep breaths, increasing that side body stretch, and then starting to bring that hand across the other side of the head and bringing it just behind the ear. So as you draw the head to center, draw the skin up the side of the neck and then tilt the head to the side. And letting those left fingertips hover an inch above the earth, drawing them forward an inch and breathing here. You can close the eyes and just connect to the sensations, right? Sensation being the body's language, it's how it communicates with us. And it's really important that you listen to the sensations so that you can honor your body in every moment on the mat. Just take a big breath into that stretch. Let it go. Releasing the hand from the head, bring both hands onto the knees for a moment and simply drop the chin to the chest, allowing the head to be heavy, the back of the neck a moment to release. So often when we are stressed, we pull our tension in our shoulders, our neck, our upper back. So this is just allowing us a moment to release at the beginning of practice. Flood the back body as you inhale. Release that breath to the earth, let it go. Then starting to lift the head away from the chest. If you have issues with the knee, please just untuck the shins first and then work your way onto all fours. If the knees are okay, place the palms down, roll onto the knees, then untuck the shins. So whichever transition works for you, start to make your way onto all fours with shoulders directly over the wrists and hips directly over the knees. Fingers are spread wide, toes are untucked. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and the tailbone, arch into the back. And as you exhale, round into the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, draw the navel to the spine. Follow your breath. Inhale, flow through, cow pose, front body stretches. Exhale, draw in, cat pose, back body stretches. So you are moving at the speed of your breath, and you are filling the movement into the space that the breath is creating. So initiating the breath and then the movement, so that we're not kind of hindering the expansion of the breath. And each breath can be longer than the last. When you're ready, start to play around with movement. Maybe sway the hips from side to side. Maybe make a big circle with the hips. Some of you might want to create some rolling through the shoulder girdle, a kind of dipping and weaving of the heart. Anything else that feels nice. And for those of you who want to make the circle slightly bigger, slide the knees back a few inches so they're behind the hips. And then that allows you to kind of roll the hips towards the earth, taking them more towards the heels and towards the edges of the mat. So please be mindful if you're doing that you're not kind of dumping pressure down into the lower back. It takes a subtle amount of core engagement to stop you kind of like plonking down. So again, explore, do what feels nice. Pull away from anything that doesn't feel good for your body. So the beauty of this home practice is that we really can kind of tune in and not worry about what anybody else around us is doing, because it's just us in our homes. So it doesn't matter what it looks like, but it's really about connecting to what it feels like. We're going to come back to a neutral spine, tuck the toes under, press away from the mat, and then draw the weight towards the heels. So you take some of the weight away from the wrists. Can you spread the fingers and press into all the knuckles so you feel this kind of lifting in the center of the palms, kind of like a hand arch. So we keep a really active hand, and then we lift our sit bones towards the sky and find that first downward facing dog. Bend one knee and straighten the opposite leg. And then start to paddle out heels, bending and straightening opposite legs. So taking the movement slow enough that you can really feel the sensations as they start to adjust with the movement. And for those of you who might have injuries, shoulder problems, it's okay to work on the earth and simply send one leg to the back of the mat and press the weight towards the heel. So that's always an option, is to work with the support of the earth. So you can always drop knees down and use a modified version of poses. But if you're still moving in downward facing dog, look for that stillness. Keep a bend in the knees, and then just nod the head yes a couple of times. Shake out the head no. Take a big breath in and let it go. Start to walk your hands towards your feet. So padding your way towards the back of the mat. Once you arrive, let the head hang heavy, catch a hold of opposite elbows, take some gentle sways from side to side. So the more kind of heavy the head is, the more gravity will work for you. So you'll start to get that elongation of the spine as the vertebrae start to separate. Then slowing the swaying motion, drop the arms down, keep a little bend in the knees, close the eyes and start to pull the navel to the spine, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time. So this rolling up action stretches the back body but also strengthens the front body. Please don't rush the process. Let the shoulders naturally draw away from the ears and the chin level out with the earth. Keeping the eyes closed as you come to this first standing position, letting all of the blood redistribute, letting everything settle. Simply pick up all 10 toes and spread them out. Weight between the toes is even now. Press into all four corners of the feet and engage the thighs till you feel the kneecaps lifting, so the quadriceps start to engage. Maybe bring the hands to your pelvis for a moment and just kind of check in with what's going on. There's a natural curvature in the spine, but sometimes our bum sticks out, water would spill out the front of the pelvis if it was a bucket containing water. Sometimes our pubic bone lifts up and water would spill out the back. We're looking for that sense of level through the pelvis. So slight lengthening of the tailbone will engage the core and help you to keep the pelvis level. Spin the palms to face forward alongside the hips, energizing the fingertips, keeping the chin level with the earth. If your eyes are closed, open them up, and then inhale, sweep the arms out and up, gaze to your thumbs as they meet. Exhale, start to fold, bringing your torso towards your thighs and your palms towards the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to get the palms down. Then inhale, slide the hands up the shins, draw the crown of the head forward, try not to flex the neck. And then slide the palms back to the earth and walk the hands forward till you're in plank pose. So once you arrive, make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. Find that nice long line of energy from the heels to the crown of the head. Try not to collapse, so press away from the earth. Again, find a subtle tilt in the tailbones. There's a bit of a doming in the upper back. Take a breath in here. Exhale, drop the knees. Move the weight forward as much as possible. Point elbows towards the back of your mat and lower onto the belly. Once you arrive, untuck toes. Press into the feet and engage the thighs. Lift the palms. Inhale, lift the heart, baby cobra. Exhale, lower the heart. So we're going to do that twice more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, rise away from the earth. Exhale, release back to it. Hands come down, press up to the knees, send hips to heels, fingers to the back of the mat, child's pose. If you have knee issues and that deep flexion doesn't work for you, it's okay to rest in downward facing dog or any other position. Let's take a moment to remind ourselves it's okay to rest at any point in the practice. Whilst you are supported by the earth, remind yourself of that. Take a big breath into the lower back. Exhale, release it, let it go. Inhale, start to make your way back onto all fours. So from all fours, we're just going to strengthen the upper body a little bit and stretch the shoulders. Keep the left palm on the earth. Inhale, sweep the right hand to the sky. Then as you exhale, thread the right arm through, but don't press down just yet. Bend that left elbow. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, take the arm to the sky. Exhale, thread through. Try not to rest down just yet. One more time. Inhale, take the arm high. Exhale, thread through. This time, come to rest on the right side of the head and the right shoulder. And as if you're karate chopping the earth with that right hand. So your pinky finger side presses down into the earth. And then you press firmly into your left palm. And you can either stay there, or some of you might want to walk the fingertips overhead, taking a bigger stretch, maybe taking the fingertips over to the top right corner of your mat. Some of you might even want to wrap that left arm around the back and reach for the inner right thigh. If you're doing that, make sure you're keeping the chest really open. Pause here for a moment, feel into the sensations in the shoulders, make sure there's no pain. Take a big breath into the back of the heart, then release it over those right fingertips to the earth, let it go. We're going to bring that left hand back in front of the face, press into that palm, inhale, sweep your right hand back to the sky. Exhale, bring that right palm down, tuck toes under, take hips into the air, downward facing dog. From dog, step the feet together, engage the right thigh and lift the right heel to the sky. Try not to let the hip roll open. Keep the foot facing the earth, then lift up on the ball of the left foot. If you feel like this is enough of a strengthener, stay here. Otherwise, point the right toes, bring the knee to the nose as you exhale. Round the upper back, squeeze in the core. Inhale, take the leg to the sky. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw in, roll forward. Let's all step that right foot between the hands. Give it an assist if it didn't make it. As you drop the back knee down, your alignment you're looking for is the knee in alignment with the ankle. Untuck the back toes, Press into the top of the back foot, bring the hands to the thigh. Really pressing away from that thigh, starting to bring the center of the body back. And as you do that, you create a deeper stretch in the left hip. You could stay here with hands on the thigh. You could bring hands to the waist, or you can take fingers to the sky. Draw the biceps back and lift the center of the chest. Find that nice kind of even arching in the back. Take a breath in. Exhale, bringing fingertips down. Tucking the back toes under, press off the back knee. Shift your weight forward as you inhale. Hop your back foot forward as you exhale. Feet are going to be about inner hip distance. So that's about 2 fists between the feet if you need to measure. Inhale, slide hands up the shins. Draw the crown of the head forward. Exhale, palms come down. Let's pull away from the legs. Sweep arms out and up. Rise to stand. Hands come to prayer above you. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Take a moment with those changes in the body. Right, for some of you, they might be subtle. Some of you, maybe you are warmer now than you were before. Maybe your heart is beating quicker. Come back to the breath. Flood the inhale in your own time. Clear the exhale, let it go. Opening the eyes, inhale, prayer to the sky. Exhale, fold your body towards the earth, torso to thighs, palms to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine, hands on the shins. Exhale, use fingertips to stabilize. We're going to step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Keep the left heel lifted, left thigh super strong. Then sweep the fingers to the sky and find your high lunge. So it's normal for it to be a bit wobbly, especially if you're on carpet. So use the core, bring the core back. So the waistline draws back and the spine stacks over the pelvis. Keep that bend in the front knee, but just make sure your knee is not moving over the ankle. Lift the chin a touch, take a calm breath in. Then start to reach forward slowly till you're parallel to the earth. Pause there. Right? When we work slowly through transitions, we get stronger. Release the left fingertips and sweep that right arm all the way back and up to the sky. So now you find this open twist. Take a moment to breathe into it. Imagine there's somebody pressing on that top hand. They're pressing your hand away and you're drawing it back towards them. So you get this kind of active opening through the shoulders. Take a calm breath here. Exhale, bring that right palm down. Bring the left palm down. Now, if you feel that you need a bit more support, you can always drop the left knee down and take the right knee out to the sides if you're cocking the leg. Otherwise, keep the back knee lifted, slide the right leg into the air, turn the right toes to the right side of the room, then bend the knee and squeeze the heel to the bum. So this is a hip opener. If it feels nice, maybe take some circles with the top knee, but don't feel that you have to. Right? Work with sensation, exploring the hip space, and then slowing the motion, dropping the foot down. If you're tired, take rest in child or dog. If you would like movement, roll forward into plank as you inhale. Then drop the knees, shift the weight forward, come halfway and pause to build strength, then come onto the belly. Untuck toes, energize the thighs, pressing into the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the heart and lift the ribs. Try not to straighten the arms fully. Shoulders back and down. Take a breath in cobra. Exhale, heart comes down. Press up to the knees. And then either 5 breaths in dog or 5 breaths in child. Where do you need to be so that you feel nourished by the practice? Doesn't matter what I'm doing. If you decide to rest for the next 35 minutes, that's also okay. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, make your way to all fours. So from all fours, press really firmly into that right hand. Inhale, sweep the left hand to the sky. Exhale, thread that arm through. Don't rest down. Bend the right elbow, strengthen the upper body. Again, inhale, take the arm to the sky. Exhale, thread through. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, thread through. And this time, rest on the shoulder. Let the head come down and turn onto the knife edge. So again, you want to karate chop the earth with that left hand. So once you've found that active opening in the shoulders, either keeping that right palm in front of the face or walking the fingertips forward and over to the top left corner of the mat. For those of you who feel that it's necessary, you can wrap that right arm around the back, reaching for the inner left thigh. Take a moment there, breathe into the space. Then start to unravel that right palm so it's back in front of the face. Press into that palm, inhale, sweep that left arm back to the sky. Exhale, bring that left hand down, tuck the toes under, take the hips back to the sky, downward facing dog. Step the feet together, engage the left leg, lift the left heel to the sky. So you could stay here if that's enough strength for you. You can come up on the ball of the right foot, point the left toes as you inhale, knee to the nose as you exhale, round the upper back. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, send the leg high. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. One more time. Inhale, everybody lift the leg and then bring the knee in, super tight, roll forward, step that left foot all the way through, or if it's like halfway up the mat, hook the elbow behind the back of the knee, plonk the foot forward, and then let's drop the back knee, tuck the back toes, press firmly into the back foot, fingers to the sky, find that low lunge. So we used this as a stopgap before, pressing away from the thigh. You can keep the hands on the waist or on the thigh, but with the fingers in the air, if you're kind of reaching forward, can you look for that alignment? Keep the front knee bent, lift the center of the heart, find an opening through the chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring fingertips down. Tuck the back toes, press off the back knee. Keep the bum lifted, weight into your front foot as you inhale. Hop the back foot forward as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine, crown of the head draws forward. Exhale, palms down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Then let's sit into our imaginary chair, sweeping our fingers into the sky, Utkatasana. If you have problems with the shoulders, keep the hands on the waist. Now, you'll notice that often the bum kind of sticks out. Can you imagine that we've got that bucket of water now, water spilling out the front? So tilt the tailbone down a little, try and get the pelvis level. Check down, see if you can see your toes. If you can't, sit back a little, and then flex your toes away from the earth to strengthen the legs. So again, either hands on the waist or fingertips in the air. Those sensations are starting to kick in. I'm sorry, and you are welcome. Feel the burn. And then simply straighten the legs as you inhale. Lower the toes. Interlace the hands. Turn the palms to face up, and then lift the heels high. Palm tree pose. Breathe with it. Just breathe. Calmly. Keeping the legs strong. If the ankles are wobbling a little bit, know that that's normal. Then simply lower the heels, bring the hands to the heart, close your eyes, and be with that kind of sparkling of energy. Or you might feel the blood coursing through the arms. More than likely, you can feel the heart beating beneath your thumbs. The Hebrew word for soul is nefesh. The direct translation is that which breathes. And nourish your soul by focusing on your breath. As long as there is breath in the body, we have purpose. Take an inhale in your own time. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, open the eyes, take your prayer high. Exhale, fold your body towards the earth. Again, torso to thighs, palms to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine, either hands on shins or fingertips on the earth. Crown draws forward. Then use fingertips to stabilize. Right foot's going to step to the back of the mat. Keep the right thigh engaged. Take your fingers to the sky. Find your high lunge. So look for your stability by plugging into the front foot and energizing out to the back leg. So all of your strength right now is in your back leg. Your past challenges are waiting to support you. Use them. They've been readying you for this moment. Take a breath in. Reach forward slowly. Move from the pelvis. Maybe pause halfway. Right, find the stability there, then simply lower the right fingertips, circle that left arm all the way back and up to the sky. As you reach up and out through those left fingers, imagine again that there's somebody pressing on that top palm. They're trying to press your hand away, you're trying to press towards them. You get this super energetical opening. I think that's a word, energetical. It is now. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale, bring that left palm down. Bring that right palm down. Keep the bum lifted. You're going to slide the front foot into the sky, or you can do that on all fours. Otherwise, leg goes into the air, turn the toes to the left side, bend the knee and open the hip, and maybe take those circles with the top knee if it feels nice. If it doesn't, don't do it. Right, we're at a place where we have this freedom to choose at the moment what we're doing. Straighten the leg back off, drop the foot to the earth. If you're tired, drop the knees. If you'd like movement, roll the shoulders forward into plank. Then let's all drop the knees. So if you're new to chaturanga, we're going to take a half chaturanga. Toes are going to untuck. The option is always to come onto the belly and take one of the previous back bends, staying lower to the earth. Otherwise, come forward, come halfway, then press into the feet to lift the thighs and the knees, upward facing dog. Shoulders draw back and down. Really nice. Take a breath in. Exhale. Take the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. So you could hang out here for 5 breaths, or you could take yourself to child's for 5 breaths. Do what you need to do. Focus on the breath. Flood the inhale when you're ready. Clear the exhale, let it go. And then if you're not in child's, please make your way to child's. Everybody with the fingertips at the back of the mat. Pull the navel to the spine and then slowly roll the spine up 1 vertebra at a time until you are sitting on the heels. Those of you who have issues with the knees and this is torture, please just drop onto the bum. Let's bring the fingertips out behind us. Weight moves back onto the fingers, heart starts to open. So you press away from the earth, you arch the back, roll the shoulder blades towards each other. And if that's enough, stay there or take a breath in. And lift the hips away from the heels, stretching the front body even more. Baby camel, baby ustrasana. Take a breath into the front body. Exhale, release the hips towards the heels. We're going to take the hands forward and as if you're coming to all fours again, but sliding the hands maybe just off the edges of the mat. Take a breath in, start to bend the elbows and then drop the right shoulder across the body. So you start to get this stretch through the front of the right shoulder and towards the pectoral muscle. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, drop left shoulder across the body, gaze over to the right. And we're going to do that twice more. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, bend the elbow. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop left shoulder, gaze over the right. Inhale, come back to center, bring the hands underneath the shoulders at shoulder width, and then tuck toes, take hips back to the sky, downward facing dog. Step the feet together, engage the right thigh, lift the right heel as you inhale. Hug that right knee in, roll forward, step that right foot all the way through between the hands. So give it an assist if it didn't make it on its own. And then we're going to turn the back heel down, so the back toes now face towards the side of your mat. Press into that back leg, use the strength from that back leg to windmill the arms open and rise. So as you bend into that front knee, knee in alignment with ankle. The shoulders are soft, but the fingertips are energized. Your gaze is over your front middle finger, so that's your right middle finger. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. So left hand rests on the left thigh, and as you take the right arm up and over, you get that big opening through the right lung. Take a big breath into that right lung. Calm breath out. Inhale, rise, warrior 2. Exhale, right forearm onto right thigh, left arm overhead. Now you could stay here just pressing away from the leg, making space. If you want, you could circle into that top arm. If you have shoulder issues and it doesn't feel good, please don't do it. Otherwise, taking a couple of those circles in one direction, maybe taking them in the other direction, seeing how it feels. And then slowing the motion, taking the arm overhead. Take a breath in, left lung, calm breath out. Inhale, start to rise back to your warrior two. Straighten the right leg, bring the hands to the waist. Turn the right toes in, and then we're going to turn the heels in so the toes turn out. We're setting up for a little bit of a squat here. So let's keep the hands on the waist to start with. Bend into both knees and then just check down. Make sure you can see your big toe joints, because if your knees are like collapsing in, you won't be able to see them. But if your knees are drawing apart, keeping the knee in alignment with the second toe, we know that the joints are safe. Can we imagine we've got that bucket of water? We're trying to keep the rim of the pelvis level with the earth. Bring your hands to prayer, maybe sit a little bit lower into the hip space. Focus on the breath. You've got this, I know, right? The thighs are starting to fire up. Be with it for a moment more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale. Bring the hands back to the waist. Turn the toes in and kick the heels out. So you're pigeon toeing the feet slightly, and that's going to protect the joints as we fold. Inhale, roll shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, start to fold towards your mat. And you can release the fingertips down, and you can bend the knees as much as you need to do that. Inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold towards the mat. Inhale, come up onto the tips of your fingers. Start to walk towards that right foot, spinning on the balls of the feet till you're in a lunge facing forward again. Let's drop the back knee down. We're going to take our fingers to the sky as we inhale. Then we're going to bring our fingertips down and transfer onto the heel of the front foot as we exhale. So if you have knee issues and the knee doesn't like the movement, stay in the stillness here, stretching the hamstring. If your knee is okay, inhale, roll forward, fingers to the sky. Exhale, fingertips down, roll onto the heel, flex the toes. And one more time, inhale, come forward. Up high. Exhale, come down, roll back a little, stretch the hamstring, keep flexing those front toes. Doesn't matter if the leg's not fully straight, but if it is straight, make sure you're not locking that front knee. Roll onto the sole of the foot. Then yogi's choice. You could simply slide this right knee back, take rest in child immediately. You could, if you want more movement, press off the back knee, engage the thigh, step back to plank as you inhale. And you can either use the knees for that halfway lower, or you can use the thighs, come forward halfway, then slide through upward facing dog. Shoulders back and down, chin is lifted slightly, take a breath in, then work your way to downward facing dog or child's pose. You've got 5 breaths. Where do you need to be so that you don't feel depleted by the practice? Right, being honest with your choices, right, so that you can maintain your calm. It's not about taking every pose, it's about staying connected to your breath, about staying with that sense of calm and being in a place of possibility that you can be in acceptance with whatever happens through the practice or however it reveals itself to you. When you're ready, take a breath in. Clear that breath, let it go. Make your way to downward facing dog if you're not already there. Step the feet together, engage the left thigh and lift the left heel to the sky. Come up on the ball of the right foot, hug that left knee in, roll forward, step that left foot all the way through. So we're going to turn the back heel down and use the power in our back leg, our past challenges, to support us rising into warrior. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Set your alignment, make sure knees not over the ankle, big toe is still visible, shoulders relaxed. Keep your gaze over your left fingertips, Inhale, flip your left palm. Exhale, reverse. Look for the space in the left lung. It's not about how far back you go, it's how much you can breathe in that left side. Use your inhale to rise. Use your exhale to fold. Left arm on left thigh, right arm overhead. Soften the right shoulder away from the ear. Keep pressing away from the left thigh. So again, you're looking for that space through the right side body. And if it felt nice, you can circle that top arm forward, back, and round a few times, or reverse the action, taking it in the opposite way. Then slowing the motion, take the fingertips overhead, and when you're ready, inhale, rise back to your warrior two. Straighten the left leg, bring the hands to the waist, turn the left toes in, and then let's turn the heels in so the toes kick out. Let's bring our hands to our heart and start to refine that squat. So again, if you need to check your knees that they're still visible or the toes are still visible, check here. Keep the hips low if that's enough, stay here and breathe. If you would like more, lift the heels high. Focus on your breath. Right, it might start to shake, and then the brain might start to fluctuate. Be with the experience, whatever it is. Lower the heels, straighten the legs. Let's turn the toes in for a moment, close the eyes, bring the hands to the waist, and just standing in this simple power pose for a moment. When we take those strengthening poses, we are using those strengthening standing poses to ground, to connect. But sometimes when we're strengthening, if we wobble, we feel a little bit weak. But I just want to remind you that those wobbles are actually making you stronger. I know I've spoken to a lot of people over the past few days, and I've heard the word fine a lot. It's okay to not be fine. It's okay to wobble. We come back to our breath. We pour ourselves into the action, whatever it is that we are doing, without expectation. We do so courageously with an open heart, and that will lead us to wherever we're meant to be. Take a big breath here. Let it all go. Open the eyes, heel toe the feet together. So that's a really simple power pose that you can take with either feet apart or feet at in a hip distance. If you're feeling like a little bit discombobulated throughout the day, you could just stand with hands on the hips. It brings everything back. So make sure you have enough room now to reach the arms out beside you if you need to. And then you're going to pick up all the toes on the right foot and spread them out. Then you're going to move the weight into that right foot and engage that right thigh so you feel the kneecap starting to lift. Now try not to look down, but step your left foot in front of the right. So the big toe and the heel are connected. Now, I know you know where your foot is. It's that thing that's at the bottom of your leg. So can you press really firmly into the feet, right? Use that sort of energy in the inner thighs, scissoring the inner thighs. That upward spiral of energy supports you. You might feel more stable with the weight staying in the back foot. You might feel more stable with the weight in both feet. Once you've found your stability, know that you can extend the arms if you need to. Close the eyes. Right? A simple shift in perspective can change everything for us. Right now, maybe you're starting to wobble. Come back to the breath. Right? If those wobbles are making you stronger, let them guide you. And if you feel stable and you think you could maybe take the experience to a different place, start to lift that left heel away from the earth. If that's enough, maybe stay there or lift those left toes away from the earth. If you need to extend the arms out, that's also an option. Make sure that you are breathing. And if you wobble or you falter or you fall, come back to the pose. When you're ready, take a big breath in. Then let's all step that left foot back to starting position and bring our hands back to our heart again. With the eyes closed, connect to your heart's wisdom. It's always been there, and it will always be there. So just notice what's going on with the brain. Right? We know what happened with the body. Maybe some of us wobbled, maybe some of us fell. How did that impact the way that we felt about ourselves? Right? The deeper practice of yoga is not standing on one leg with the eyes closed. It's understanding who you are when maybe things aren't going the way you expected, or when everything is fluctuating. Who do you become? Breathe in the wisdom found within. Breathe out any negative thoughts, let them go. You can keep the eyes closed because you know where your feet are and you know what you're doing. Pick up all the toes on the left foot, spread them out. Then move the weight into that left foot and engage that left thigh. Resist the urge to open your eyes. Don't cheat yourself out of the challenge. Step your right foot in front of your left so you can connect the big toe and the heel. And then make a decision. Are you keeping the weight in the back foot? Are you transferring it forward a little bit and zipping up the inner thighs more? And looking for your place of stability and breathing there. Those of you who want to shift the experience slightly, start to lift that right heel. Maybe even lift those right toes. If you need to extend the arms, that's an option. Focus on your breath. Welcome the wobbles. Right? If we know that the moments where we wobble can guide us to where we're meant to be, then we can welcome those challenges. When you're ready, take a breath in. Release the foot to the earth. Bring the hands back to the heart. Be with it for just a moment. Take a full inhale. Exhale, let it go. Let's flutter the eyes open and make our way to the earth. So if you want to use a squat to come to the earth, toes turn out, heels turn in. If you have issues with the knees, just drop down in a way that works for you. Otherwise, bend the knees till you come to your squat. Press the knees away, slide the thumbs to your heart. Take a breath in. All the way down into the pelvis, clear that breath, let it go. Then use the fingertips to support. Drop the bum down. Slide your heels forward so that they're right at the front of your mat. So making sure the heels are at the front. If you need anything for your meditation or your relaxation, you can slide any blankets or tops towards the back of your mat so you can reach them. Then let's take the fingers to the sky as we inhale. Then we're going to kind of ragdoll fold over the thighs. So let the head hang heavy. Let the back of the hands rest on the earth. Keep the feet flexed and the legs strong. Pull the navel in, and just the way we've rolled up to our seat or to stand a few times, we're going to roll down onto the earth. Taking our time to land ourselves softly. And once you've come onto the earth, hug the knees in towards the chest and give yourself an embrace. Maybe a rock from side to side. And in this time of no contact, where people like myself who love hugs, missing that physical contact, know that we can sort of embrace ourselves. Let's slow any rocking, bring the arms out at shoulder height in a T position if you have space. If you don't, just bend the elbows into a cactus position, a U position. Take the knees over to the right and turn the head over to the left. Keeping the eyes closed, focus your breath down into the twist. Big inhale when you're ready. Release it over that left shoulder, let it go. Turn the head to center, bring the knees to center as you inhale. Guide the knees over to the left, turn the head towards the right. Pausing and focusing your breath into your twist. Take a full inhale. Release the exhale over the shoulder, let it go. Then start to bring the knees back in, hug the knees, take a rock from side to side if that feels necessary for you. And then once you've done that, start to make your way onto the earth, coming into Shavasana. So for those of you who might have issues with the lower back, it's okay to keep a bend in the knees and let the feet rest on the floor letting the knees drop into touch. If you prefer to take a seated meditation, that's also okay. But once you've come to the earth or your seat, adjust the pose as much as you need to, right? Tweak it, fidget here, so that you can really settle into the stillness. And once you've adjusted as much as necessary, take a really big breath in. Breathe in the entire practice. Exhale, let it all go. And letting the earth hold you, let the breath breathe you. Simply start to bring your awareness down into your feet. Total awareness in your feet. And as you start to breathe with your awareness in your feet, visualize this warm, fluid, golden light flooding in through the soles of the feet. That golden light starts to rise through the calves and the shins, through the knees and into the thighs. You feel the muscles in the legs starting to become heavy. The shin bones resting on the cushioning of the calves and the thigh muscles just rolling away from the bone. That golden light streams into the pelvis and into your root chakra at the perineum, right down at your base. That golden light continues to rise with the breath from the root to the sacrum, your sacral chakra. That golden light just filling into the pelvis, where organs start to become heavy, resting in the bowl of the pelvis. And that light rises, warm, fluid, golden light, rising from the sacrum to the solar plexus. That chakra starting to be stimulated by the breath and this golden light. Total awareness at your solar plexus. That golden light continues to rise to the heart. As that golden light floods into your heart chakra, you feel the warmth of it spreading across the chest. This softness occurring in the heart space. And that golden light continuing to rise towards the collarbones. And it just shines as it runs across the collarbones to the tips of the shoulders and all the way down into the tips of the fingers. And that golden light moves into the base of the throat, your throat chakra. Warmed, soothed by this golden light. The light continues to rise through the throat, into the jaw. You feel the muscles in the jaw relaxing. The tongue just resting on the roof of the mouth, soft. The light rises through the cheeks, they feel heavy. And it moves into the sockets of the eyes, and you feel the weight of the eyes resting in the back of the sockets. That golden light continues to rise through to the third eye, the space between the brows. And as that golden light awakens the third eye chakra, that space between the brows broadens. That golden light rises through the forehead, and any creases, furrows are smooth. The light rises to the crown of the head, and the crown of the head starts to open. That golden light pours up and out 6 inches above the head to the crown chakra. It pierces through the crown chakra, and that light starts to fall down the sides of the body, past the tips of the ears and the tips of the shoulders, Down the arms, past the tips of the fingers and thighs, all the way down sides of the legs and under the soles of the feet. The entire body filled with and surrounded by this warm, fluid, golden light. This light continues to expand into your aura, your etheric field. The energy around you starts to be cleared, cleansed. Any creases or cracks in your aura starting to be smoothed and soothed, filled, as well as any holes in your aura. Surrounded by this pure energy, protected by it. This feeling of calm within and around the body. Total oneness with yourself. You feel this free-flowing energy through the central channel of the body. That golden light, pure, clear energy starts to draw back up the sides of the body, rising and then drawing in through the crown. The crown of the head starts to close. That light moves from the crown to the third eye, from the third eye to the base of the throat. That light runs up the arms from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the shoulders, back across the collarbones. And then that light pours down to the heart. From the heart, it moves to the solar plexus. From the solar plexus, it moves to the sacrum. From the sacrum, it moves to the root. And you feel all of your chakras in alignment. Free-flowing energy from root to crown, crown to root. Breathing in through the root, let the breath rise to the crown. And as you exhale, let the breath leave the crown, drawing back to the root. A couple more of those breaths in through the root to the crown as you inhale, exhale from the crown back to the root. One more, inhale, root to crown. Exhale, crown to root. Visualize that golden light moving out of the pelvis and down through the thighs and the knees, the shins and the calves, ankles, and from there the light plunges down through the soles of the feet. Visualize it moving all the way down into the middle of the earth, and that light becoming roots that keep you grounded and connected to the earth's energy. With your awareness down in your feet, start to wiggle the toes. You feel the skin of each toe rubbing up against the skin of the toe next to it. And then start to rub the thumbs over the tips of the fingers and feel the differing sensations between each finger. Then roll the head from side to side and feel the skull being massaged on the earth as the weight of the brain just rests in the back of the skull. Then start to stretch the entire body, taking a big breath in, reaching the arms overhead. And then bringing the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug and roll to either side, left or right is fine. Pause for a moment on the earth with the support of it. We prepare to rebirth with this sense of calm. When you're ready, breathe in to rebirth. Give the breath back to the earth as gratitude, let it go. Then press into whichever hand is easiest and make your way to a seated position facing forward. Once you've found your seat, bring your hands into prayer and settle your thumbs over your heartbeat. We complete this practice by connecting to that place of balance at our heart, that place of wisdom. It's always been there, it will always be there. You feel that the fluctuations around you become distracting. Come back to this position and connect to your breath. Nourish your soul by focusing on your breath and let the rest melt away. We close the practice with a single Om on the exhalation. Try not to worry about the sound that comes out, just feel the vibration within. When you're ready, empty all the breath. Inhale to prepare. As the vibration settles, bring your thumbs to your third eye, and from your place of truth and understanding, bow to the earth, acknowledging your body, your practice. The light in me sees and bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here this evening and practicing with Recenter at home. If you do want to get in contact with me, you can find me on Instagram, Zara Miranda Yoga, or you can contact Recenter about private classes. It's been really lovely to hold this space for you this evening. I really appreciate you all coming. And hopefully I will see you back on the mat again soon.
I love you.
Thank you, Gabby. If you could just turn your audio off, that'd be great. You can message me in the chat section. You are welcome, Beth. And yeah, have a lovely evening. I'll be back teaching for Recenter on Sunday if you want to hang out more. You're welcome, Emily. I needed it too. Yeah, so I'll be back on Sunday. We've got some amazing teachers on our schedule, so do carry on practicing, keep moving your body at home, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye. Thank you for all your lovely messages. I'm glad you feel lovely. I feel lovely too. Take care.